The theme of my climbing in 2020. Why can't I keep tension? A lot of body tension is definitely strength-based, but I noticed around that time I had begun to do something subconsciously. Seeing this made me more intentional about how I thought of tension as technique. This video aims to provide you with a way to learn technical body tension by doing the thing we love most, just climbing. That technique is the toe smear. There will be plenty of examples on all the ways I use toe smears in this video, but climbing technique can also be really personal and climb dependent, so I'll also provide some tips at the end on how to find them yourself. So what is a toe smear? Also known as a toe scum, a toe smear is when you flex your ankle so that way you apply pressure onto the wall by creating friction with the rubber on your midfoot or outer edges. This is different from a toe hook in that toe hooks generally refer to latching onto specific holds or features, whereas toe scums more commonly refer to toe hooks that are also smears, so you're applying pressure to a blank wall. The hook part of toe hook implies that there will be leverage involved, whereas toe scums are more about creating marginal amounts of force or friction. The first application of the foot smear that I'll be discussing is probably the application most climbers are aware of. It's when you have an outside flag, but rather than just letting it hang idly, you instead apply pressure into the wall. This movement is commonly done when crossing over on inclined walls in order to keep your hips close. And it's the most common application because sometimes not having the smear means you'll just barn door. Applying pressure into the wall will help to keep your hips from dropping, since the force exerted from your smear will straighten your leg. And this straightened leg will prop your hips close to the wall. A bonus tip that you can incorporate into this position to level it up is learning how to also angle your hips into the wall. That way both ends of your flagging leg will contribute to keeping your body from dropping. When doing a dynamic move that has a cut loose, there will often be times where you can push against the wall with the foot under your pulling arm at the same time as you make contact with the hold you're jumping to. It'll do the same effect as in the last example, where it'll reduce the amount your hips drop by creating pressure against a point. This allows your extended leg to prop up your hips. This is helpful because it means that gravity will have less impact on your fingers and arms, and this is especially important since you just cut your feet. In some cases, it can also be used to stop your momentum after making contact with the hold. In this video, you can see that after making contact with the right hand and flexing my left leg, that the left toe smear stops my momentum from continuing to travel rightwards. So, the takeaway from this section: when doing jumping moves, be on the lookout for how your feet can still exert pressure even if they're not on any explicit footholds. A common application of the toe smear is to accompany backflags with them. Backflags are a quintessential technique for finding balance when both your handhold and foothold are on the same side of your body. Since they're on the same side of your body, your center of gravity will naturally fall along them, causing barn doors. However, by simply flexing the ankle on your flagging foot, you'll be able to create a third point of contact that will actively fight against the barn door. One thing that'll separate advanced from intermediate climbers with regard to this application is how much you can milk the smear. Intermediate climbers might put the foot against the wall, but advanced climbers are more likely to exert more force through their ankles in order to prop their hips up. Maintaining high tension positions after dynamic moves. There are many times on overhung climbs where you'll need to use power to get to the next hold. The process of generating momentum to get to another hold means that after hitting the hold, your elevated position from your momentum will eventually cause you to fall to gravity. However, you can employ toe smears in these circumstances to either 1. Prevent your hips from dropping. This prevents your fingers and upper body from having to hold the pressure from your body dropping later. Oftentimes, your fingers are the smallest muscle in your muscular chain while climbing, so it's important to optimize for them. 2. They help you keep your hips up long enough to make contact with a hold, which is sometimes all you can do if you're doing a really difficult tension move. Oftentimes, people fail to land high tension moves because they're already falling by the time they hit the hold. Toe smears are especially helpful in preventing this so you can hit the hold in an optimal body position before you start falling. Lastly, get creative. I'd like to discuss a few miscellaneous examples I found in order to show just how many more ways you can use this technique, though they might be a lot less common. In the first example, I am falling into a lower intermediate hold. While falling, I latch the wall with a toe smear to help catch my weight. This way, I can catch the hold with less gravity weighing me down. In the second example, pay attention to my right foot. You can see that I have a right toe smear that is helping me to generate compression with my lower body in order to make this cross move easier. Even after landing it, I continue to maintain the counter pressure in my legs for the next move. If you have any examples that you think are similarly hyper-specific applications of toe smears, then comment down below how you've used them, since I'm always eager to learn more about climbing technique. Alright, practical advice. Some of you may have even thought to yourself while watching this video, well, this is all great, but these are such specific examples. But the point is to demonstrate just how often this technique can be used. My recommendation, record yourself. By recording yourself, you'll be able to either spot the moments you were using it without your awareness, or you'll see dangling flags that you'll be able to fix in your next attempt. It's not guaranteed that exerting force through a smear will help. But by looking out for situations where you can, then you'll be able to learn how to establish body position by leveraging your lower body to take weight off your fingers and arms, which is a prevailing theme in pretty much all the examples that we've gone over. People always characterize body tension as being about the strength in your core, but hopefully this video has demonstrated some of the technical aspects of it. At the end of the day, learning climbing technique is best achieved by climbing a lot and thinking about what you can improve. And hopefully this video will give you a new tool you can try out when you're in the middle of that process on the wall. A video you can check out if you liked this one is this one on the best drills for beginners to learn climbing technique. They're great for structuring your warm-ups. Subscribe if you want more technique and climbing improvement tips, and I'll see you next time.